This is a lovely little dessert that's perfect for summertime. A little bit of meringue on the bottom, some cream and some caramelised peaches in between, then another layer of meringue and some cream and some peaches on top. Delicious.
Wow, it sounds like a pavlova, but layered.
Well, exactly. And it's an easy one to do. Instead of having to worry about getting the soft, gooey centre of the pavlova, this is just made in 2 different sheets in the oven and away it goes. Now, I've got 4 egg whites there that are at room temperature. And I'm going to pick up this thing. It's called a whisk. And what I want you to do is to just grab that and just start whisking it together.
Okay.
Now, one of the tips when you are whisking up egg whites is to make sure that the bowl has no oil in it. It's really, really clean. If there is any oil in it, it will not whisk up. It will not hold
So I'm
hold the air.
sure you've done a good spray of olive oil in here.
What sort of person would be that? It is a dirty trick that some chefs would play on other chefs in kitchens.
Dirty indeed, my friend.
Exactly. And
Here
to
we
that,
go.
I'll add just a little pinch of salt, tiny little one, helps to stiffen the whites up. So what we want to do is whisk it till it gets to soft peaks. So the egg whites encapsulate and sort of wrap themselves around these little air bubbles. They turn white and fluff up.
Okay.
And I'm looking at you like this thinking, I can't torture you anymore. Would you like me to take over here? So what I do is whisk this up like this, and you'll see in a minute or 2, it'll be nice and fluffy. You could use an electric mixer, but for me, I just love whisking it by hand. You get a much better result. Now, Preeya, it doesn't take very long at all. You can already see it's peaking up, which is what we want. Now, the salt in there has brought it up nice and gently, got it nice and stiff. And then at this stage here, we rein in the sugar. We don't want to put too much in at once, just a little bit, and the sugar goes around it. So if you want to hold the bowl...
I was going to say I could help you.
Yeah, you could help me if you want. Here we go. So I was going to get you to hold one bowl or the other one, and we just put a little bit in at a time. Here we go. And what you'll find, if you get the sugar in there, and once that sugar dissolves, it becomes nice and shiny, and the egg whites become nice and stiff, which is really important. Nearly there.
Keep going.
That's it.
All
Nearly
right,
there
we go.
All right, last little bit of sugar's gone in there, so we just whiz it around like that till it comes together beautifully. Now, once we've got it there, we've just add some corn flour, 2 tablespoons of corn flour. In it goes, and I'll hand that over to you, and also some vinegar. The vinegar is important because it stops it from going rock hard. Just keeps it nice and soft and fluffy on the inside.
And what's the intention of the corn flour?
The corn flour is just to hold it up, so it gives it a little bit of stiffness, and the vinegar just makes it nice and soft and gooey on the inside.
Lovely.
So we just fold that through. We don't want to over-whisk it, so we just want to fold it through so it's just all mixed in together. It looks good. At this stage here, you just want to grab your finger like that. That is really good.
Good.
Slide that over here, and I'll reach across and grab these 2 trays. And I've got these little circles on there.
Yeah.
That's just a guideline. We don't actually have to use those sizes. We can go a little bit bigger if we want.
You've used a little compass to do that, I reckon. It's a perfect circle.
A compass? Well, I know where north is all the time, so, you know,
That's what it's called, though. I'm pretty sure you put a pencil and a point and then you draw the circle.
Yeah, I spent most of my time sitting outside the principal's office, so I can't really remember. So I'll just grab the last little bit there.
Lovely.
Hand that over to you, and then grab this spatula here. I just whiz it around like this until I flatten it out. What I'm looking for is a disc. I don't want it to be thick. I just want it to be nice and thin so we can make those layers.
Stack, beautiful.
Exactly.
If you were doing a pavlova, it's exactly the same, but you would have it as a big thing that you then mound stuff on top of.
Exactly, and you cook it so it's nice and soft in the centre, but I just like spreading it out like that. So these will go in the oven, 120 degrees Celsius. They'll take about 30 minutes to cook, and once they're cooked, I turn the oven off and leave them in the oven so they cool down in the oven and stay nice and dry. Now, luckily, I'm using a really good oven so I can hold the temperature really well, and it will seal off beautifully. Okay, Preeya, while the meringues are just cooling down in the oven, I've switched it off. We're going to make a little caramel here and put the peaches in here. They're quite firm. They're still going to be nice and sweet, but they've got the firm ones because I want them to hold up to the caramel. So the sugar's in there now. You'll see it starting to bubble a little bit, and you can see it's just starting to set in the middle there. That's telling me that we're just about heading towards a caramel. Some people do it dry in a pan like this where they just put the sugar and let it caramelise and just let it go. The other people like to put some water in there. It doesn't matter which way you do it. See the water's starting to dissolve quickly? And once the water dissolves, it changes in temperature. The sugar goes up to about 190 degrees Celsius when it starts to caramelise. That's how hot it is, so be really, really careful. So we'll just let this wiggle around till we start to get a lovely colour. Okay, Preeya, we've got a light caramel there. You can see some of that smoke coming off there. And that's just before it burns. So you want to catch it the right time. If you want to put the peaches in, I'd probably get some tongs or something like that so you've got a bit of distance. But because I'm a bit of a daredevil, I've been doing this for a while, I just slide the peaches straight in there. Look at that heat. Lots of heat going on. Nice bit of burning action there, or that dark action. And then a little bit of water on the side there. See that? Oh, this is what I like. This is the action. I'll even put some honey in here because I love that flavour.
Wow.
And then I've got a lemon there. You can cut that lemon in half and then we squeeze it. A little tip, it's often good to cut the lemon in half. It's a lot easier to squeeze that way.
I thought so.
Just a little pro tip.
Okay.
Squeeze that on there. That lovely caramel colour and flavour is going to soften those peaches up. Once they've softened up, I'll pop them into this little dish here, let them cool down, and then we'll bring the whole lot together. I'll have some cream whipped and this will be fantastic.
Wow.
Okay, Preeya, we're ready to go. I've slid it onto the board here. And now we get some cream, some lovely whipped cream, and drizzle some of that on the outside there. You like this?
It looks lovely. Can't wait for this layering effect.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic. Now, I had some advice that I gave someone at Christmas time. They rang into the radio station I was working at and they said, Richo, my Pavlova's crumbled up and fallen apart. And I said, don't worry, I'm going to give you a great tip. What you need to do is lay some of it down, pop some of the peaches or whatever fruit you've got and some of that syrup down as well. Feel free to throw some raspberries on there as well.
Okay. I may get involved.
You can go nuts. And I said, what you want to do is once you've got everything on the first layer with the cream, then grab the second layer and let's pretend this is falling apart and just grab it and just pop it on the top like this, like a meringue that's all fallen apart.
Wow.
See that? Higgledy-piggledy with lots of stuff all over it. And I'll just crush it up so we get a nice little mountain on there and a lovely layer up. You like that? Move that aside there.
We were going to have like a story treehouse or something. But alas, here we are.
No, we're going to layer it up like this.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. This is even better. And then the syrup, we just drizzle it down like this so it all sort of goes around.
Beautiful. It
and
looks
then
fantastic.
A few raspberries on there, please,
Oh, more,
Preeya.
yes,
just
sure.
Load it up. And then while we're
Here
doing
we go.
this, what we do, that's it. And then we put a few mint leaves in the side here like this.
Throw them on
There
like
we go.
that.
Lovely. Just loving this, aren't you?
I am loving it. I'm loving that you are able to help people save their meringues. That's a beautiful thing.
All we probably need is a little bit of icing sugar, but I'll put icing sugar on everything. So I reckon we've got that just about done there.
I was looking around for the shaker that you know and love so dearly, but alas, that's fantastic.
That's what
I
you
think
do.
we should admire it and enjoy it for what it is.
We should take a photo of it. I'm thinking I should take it to the Pavlova Museum of Australia and just submit this as one of my great Pavlovas. It's ready to go.
Well done, my friend.